I've just seen like.
Sorry, excuse me, we're making a show here.
Take that out? Yeah.
Dropping on the floor is more diva.
That's why.
I'm not a diva.
And action.
We just kicked off a fantastic new season of Top Chef. Top Chef is back with a fantastic new host. That's me. And after each new episode airs, I'll unpack the cooking action and ingenuity with the Top Chef winners, all-stars, and fan favorites, like my two best friends, the Stephanies, throughout 21 seasons of the show, right here in my fake kitchen. The season premiere ended in a sudden death cook-off using whatever leftover ingredients the bottom three chefs could find. Your time starts now.
There goes my pescado. She knew I was going for it. I'm looking for more proteins. Can't find anything.
Kenny, what are you doing, man?
I have no clue right now.
You gotta commit right away.
Yeah.
I got some fish that Dan had left over. Thanks, Dan.
Oh, hey, look at there.
David, what was in that package?
Shrimp, Tom.
Shrimp.
No. It didn't really end well for David. Please pack your knives and go. But I want to know what a Top Chef champion would have done with those ingredients, which we happen to have right here. Today, I invited fan favorite, Top Chef alum, season 4 winner, my friend, Stephanie Izard.
I was like crazy.
To help me find out. This is the Dish with Kish. You're cute. Oh, yeah. Nice lead-in, right? That was very clear.
That was great, yeah.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Welcome to my kitchen.
Yes,
Normally, I would have cleaned up before your arrival. However, this is kind of what the kitchen looks like after a Top Chef challenge.
The proof's in the pudding.
A freaking bun falls onto the floor. As I leave the kitchen, another bun falls off the floor.
Whoa, that's not good. Alon, you should have done that for the flambe challenge.
Do you really think this is what it looks like after a challenge?
No, after a challenge, it looks more like this.
What's going on? What's going on? But the floor would have it all over it, too.
That's what it looks like.
All right, guys, floor is safe.
Did you feel so bad at the end of challenges, walking away from your station, just thinking what a mess you've left for culinary?
Oh my God, I'm so
I
sorry.
feel terrible. But you come back 20 minutes later and it's miraculously perfectly clean.
Pristine. But they had to come back in to a dirty kitchen and then cook again. And David, I mean,
Just couldn't get it together.
he could not get it together. David, please pack your knives and go.
We made history. You're first person to eliminate. Thanks, guys.
I don't think that's how you wanted to play this.
I mean, you're shaking. It's the first time that you see cameras all around you, not knowing exactly what was going on and just feeling like, oh my gosh, there's millions of people gonna watch me do this right now. My first challenge, I cut my finger.
I have to get used to cooking with 15 other people around and in a strange kitchen. So that's why I probably cut myself in the first 30 seconds that I'm cutting an onion.
And what's going through my brain is, I'm gonna be the first one kicked off of this.
But you weren't.
But I wasn't.
And you won. And that's why you're standing here today.
Yes.
But David's dish incorporated shrimp, a couple green sauces, and then like some marinated tomatoes. I have to know what you would make with things that you see around here.
All this.
Yeah.
I think you want to get a lot of flavor in as short amount of time as possible. That can of hominy, it's driving me to want to make a little pozole-inspired dish.
The winner, Manny, he made a pozole.
Green pozole with chicken, char salsa. I didn't give a piece of lime. I like to dictate the level of acidity on my food.
It is packed full of comfort, but you made it so elegant.
Thank you.
It was, like, when I say perfect as perfect can be, it was outstanding. So best of luck to you. No, I'm just kidding. Let's cook stuff.
All right.
What do you want me to do?
I'm kind of thinking of making a broth with some of these bones. Maybe we find like a bigger pot. Let's gather all these different spices together.
So do you want me to start by roasting these off in the pan?
Yeah, let's do that. And then simultaneously, I'm gonna make like a salsa matcha.
I
Because
love salsa.
me too. We make sort of salsa matcha or chili crunch inspired things in our kitchen. You just can add so much flavor pretty quickly. So for, I think, a fast challenge, it makes sense.
On Top Chef, when you look back to your dishes 17 years ago, how do you feel about them?
I haven't watched my season in a while. I put it on to watch with my son, Ernie. We watched when he was 6. And in the first episode, I swear twice. It's like, Mommy, you said the F word.
I was just trying to get out of the pan and it just fell apart. So I'm just gonna try to piece it back together and hope that it at least tastes good. I'm starting to sauce my plate and my hand is shaking out of control. Like, holy shit.
I I try to think back. I think in my finale, I made a snapper dish, which actually, I'm totally gonna use a snapper today.
Oh.
So I'm just throw a little ginger in the broth, and then we'll use a little bit in the salsa matcha. This smells so good. Can you smell it?
You know, when you walk into the Top Chef kitchen after Elimination Challenge,
right,
it does look like just a bunch of discarded ingredients that like no one wanted, or it's left over, things are wilted.
Right.
But like, do you think that there's opportunity in the mess and the chaos of it all?
I think so. I mean, I think in restaurants, realistically, we have to use all of our scraps. You know, if you have chicken with all of that flavor on it, you're not just gonna throw it in the trash, you're gonna make it into a sauce or make it into a broth. If you have little bits of anything left, it's either going to stocks, sauces, going into another dish, maybe we make a filling with it. Speaking of scraps, I'll give you the outside of this to just add even more flavor to the broth.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna put in some ginger and garlic and just let that kind of cook right into there. One of these just right into the broth. Oh yeah,
Bull fat.
Do you want to throw some water in there?
Look at that. Wait, did you request this?
Yeah.
I've never used something like this before, have you?
No. I'm just gonna put a little bit of water in here, and then I'm gonna put some of the dashi base, and this will just give a little seasoning. Do you feel like now that you're doing more on the judges side of things and hosting the show that you miss the cooking side of it?
It makes me want to cook.
Yeah,
it makes me want to cook, but not to be confused with going on and competing again, because that is a hard no. We're making a TV show. Let's just put these on real quick. Our onions and our peppers are perfectly charred now.
Good job, thank you. So then we're gonna take that broth and strain it into the blender. So we're just kind of thickening it.
With the onions and the peppers.
Oh, and I've got hazelnuts, and I'm gonna add into the little salsa matcha.
You judged one of my proudest quick fires. Yeah, it's fine.
Wait, tell me.
She's forgotten about what I feel most proud of, and she was a part of that moment. No big deal.
So what I made today was a almond and chocolate sponge cake with a ceviche made with the eggs. I made a bowl, made my cake pan out of the Reynolds wrap.
The texture of the cake is great. It's really nice and light, moist, and...
Thank you.
My hands were shaking so bad, I could not.
Because I made you so nervous?
You did. I was like, first woman Top Chef.
Stephanie, you are Top Chef.
What, really?
Congratulations.
Oh my God.
Do you want to strain this out afterwards?
I don't think so. I want it to be kind of rustic.
Oh, it tastes really good. It's spicy.
Yeah. So I didn't get to see the first episode yet, but the first challenge, you and Tom and Gail each pick one sort of classic dish that you wanted the chefs to make.
Tom did a roast chicken.
Okay.
Gail did a stuffed pasta. And I chose soup because in order to make it to Seattle, I had to cook for Emerald in Las Vegas. And in that group, I had my boo-boo, my best friend, Stephanie.
So you guys work together, right?
Yes, chef.
I mean, and you both here.
Yes, chef. Both here.
How does that work? I mean,
It's a good thing we're friends.
We're lucky.
next thing you're gonna tell me you're roommates too, right?
We live in the same apartment building. We don't separate.
Oh, nice. And
Yeah.
you guys made a soup together.
No, we did separate. Steph,
I'm coming.
it's your favorite moment to talk about.
Is it beauty's time? Oh my goodness.
It is definitely not beauty time. She's
What has happened in here?
Stephanie Smar, Top Chef royalty, basically.
Oh my goodness.
I know, and my best friend.
I'm so glad you liked it.
And now culinary producer slash supervisor slash boss lady on Top Chef.
I tried.
Okay, so I was just talking about soup.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
While we do this, can I help cook? Do we need to sear some fish?
No,
Maybe
I
a
need to know.
distraction would be heavenly right now.
We both had a cook for Emerald. We were in the same group. He said to me,
nerve-wracking.
Kristen, yours is one of the best soups I've ever had. Congratulations, you go to Seattle.
And he was like, oh, and Stephanie Joyce Smarb, you're gonna have to leave the building. And I was like, but I'm eliminated? And he was like, absolutely, that was awful.
She got
And I was like, that was
Seriously?
One of you today hit it out of the park, and one of you missed the mark. Stephanie, I'm sorry. Please pack your knives and go.
Thank you, chef.
I feel like absolute I'm so excited for Kristen, but I don't want to be the one at home watching on TV.
It was awful.
And we both had to go home to Boston, and I think for a couple of weeks, nothing was like wrong between us, but it was definitely a little awkward.
There was weird.
Oh my gosh,
I'm so glad we got to retell that
I
story.
know. But now you do have to cook. Can you do something?
Yeah, can I sear this fish? What can I do?
We're gonna season it. I think this is some ground coriander that was here.
So what plate do you want?
Something that can hold a little bit of a broth.
Do you want to cook the fish?
I'll cook the fish.
Okay, I really enjoy that.
Do you need to go do work or something?
I'm just gonna get the beauties all set up.
Okay.
Awesome.
So we're pressing on the fish because as soon as the skin hits hot, it curls up and it curls concave?
Convex? I mean,
Convex?
it depends on which way you look at it.
Yeah, whatever. Convex or concave.
It curls.
The skin is no longer touching the oil, and you have to allow the fish to kind of relax into it.
Yeah, we'll throw a tiny bit of butter in there with it.
And I love the brown butter tying everything together. It's like
You want
brown
this
butter.
brown butter and everything?
Yeah. Fish is.
Oh, fish is beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and put that sauce. Oh yeah, so it'll get all that like buttery yumminess from the fish. So the sauce it's a little bit smoky from the bacon flavor. Charred cilantro, charred chilies, just a lot of flavor put in there really quickly. I want a little avocado in there just because to soak up some of that spice. I have a little bit of cabbage cilantro I'm gonna dress with some, just like lime and olive oil. So just kind of thinking of little like kind of garnish areas.
And which plate do you want for beauties?
I don't know, let's see which one comes out the.
Okay.
It was always a decision. You're like, do I want the prettiest one for beauties or the prettiest one for the judges? I'm like, prettiest one for the judges.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we're putting the salsa matcha on top. So bringing some of the same flavors from the sauce, adding a little bit of crunch with the hazelnuts.
Oh my God, my mouth is literally watering.
No, it smells good. That's gonna add some pretty color.
That looks
Oh, it looks pretty.
incredible. Steph, we're ready for beauties. Yep. Yep. Pick which one, or you pick which one, I guess.
This one, right? This is gorgeous.
They kind of all look the same.
Okay.
Continuity.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you, chef.
So we're gonna
Very
actually come
fancy.
with you, walk and talk about beauty situation.
That.
So why don't you explain to us the process of the beauty and why we do it?
So go into the tent and we've got a gorgeous little setup in here. So you always ask the chef, which way do you want the plate to face? So you'd be like,
That's funny. I mean, I know why we make the beauties, but I've never seen it.
You've
come
never
into
been
the
in
secret beauty room.
Welcome to my tent. This process happens because we want to make sure that everything that the chef's done is represented 100%. We also want to capture the food when it's still warm and not coagulated and congealed and stuff. We want to make sure it looks as fresh and as appetizing for the viewers as possible.
This is really the moment and the closest the viewer at home is going to get to the food.
This is like the scratch and sniff moment. This is
This
how the
is the
viewer
scratch and
gets
sniff
tasted.
moment. I think that's the best way to describe it.
What are some of the hardest dishes to photograph? I would guess soup is kind of hard to photograph.
It's ice cream.
Oh, ice cream, of course.
It's ice cream. Ice cream's a disaster. Once you
melting.
hear ice cream, you're like, oh man, I've got 5 seconds to get that anywhere.
Thank
You're
you.
the best.
Thanks for coming to my
Behind the
tent.
scenes,
Love you.
yeah.
Love you.
That's cool.
Can we eat?
Yeah.
That actually made me hungry looking at it,
And
which I
that's
think is
kind of the whole
point.
point, yeah.
Here you go. Oh,
There's so much flavor. I love that texture of the hominy. The smokiness from the bacon, I think, is really nice with the smoky notes from the chilies in the salsa matcha. The spice in the broth is so nice with the fish.
leftovers or not, great ingredients are great ingredients, and there's something that you can make something out of.
Yeah.
It really is. Very delicious dish.
Oh, God. Actually good. I can actually cook.
Here, I'll
Yay.
cook for you.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. I'll see you next week with Amar Santana as we take a deep dive into the season's first quickfire.